Console, online. HPG connection, online. Educational module, online. All systems, nominal.
Hello, class, and welcome to On the Origin of Battlemechs Podcast, episode 67. I am your host, Brent Stewart McKee. My co-hosts today are...
I'm Joshua.
And I'm Chandler.
And today we are talking about the Black Knight, so part B of the two-parter, and it continues to be a 75-ton behemoth on the battlefield. Going for that alliteration as is Battletech tradition. We're going to pick up right where we left off with the BL-12-KNT in 3063. And this guy has the movement profile of 4-6. It's got an ER medium laser and a large laser in the right torso. Same in the left, but the left also has a targeting computer. It's got a ER medium laser and a ER PPC in the right arm and a ER medium laser in the left arm. It's got 16 double heat sinks and endo steel.
Finally getting to the point where we have enough heat sinks to handle the weapon load.
Yeah, although making those medium lasers ER certainly doesn't help.
No, but it gives you a couple extra hexes of range.
Mm-hmm.
Improves your targeting numbers a little bit. ER mediums aren't as good as ER or standard mediums for efficiency, but 5 points of damage for 5 points of heat and 1 ton and 1 crit is actually still a really good buy.
Oh yeah, it's still in like the high tiers, even if it isn't S tier.
Yeah, I definitely think the 12 is probably the best out of the quote-unquote original Black Knights. Ironically, also the last of the production. So, although I'm assuming that'll change with the recognition guides whenever we get around to the Black.
Well, we do have a BL-18KNT. So
yes, yeah, I was looking at that one, but we'll discuss that when we get there. But I think that's just a mess up in the convention, just by how it compares to the rest of its brethren in that era.
Fair enough.
Well, BL-18KNT is from RG-12, so
well, crazy then. Apparently, we have been there already.
Did you go and play yourself?
Congratulations, I just played myself.
Yeah.
Did it even get it? Did it get a? It didn't get a full page.
No, he didn't. He got a blurb.
Wow. I guess it does have a lot of variance.
Yeah. So the 12 has a battle value of 1840 and a point value of 40. And yeah, it's a Black Knight. It's got some ER tech in it now, not on the large lasers, but everything else. And it came out during the Civil War.
It's got a targeting computer. This guy is really solid.
Yeah. It's just one of those, like, it's great. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It's a great mech that continues to be great.
Yeah, with the 12 at this point, the only way to make it better is to either make it less durable with an XL or add clan tech. And that's essentially where the Black Knight has gotten to with the 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it goes in a little bit of a different direction with our next model, the BL-X-KNT Red Reaper, seen in 3069, and this is a model from a Solaris Jock, which explains why it has a sword and shield.
This guy's taken the knight theme to the max.
Maximum Knight.
So this guy's got a movement profile of 3-5, bumping down that speed a little bit, which is not great to see. It's got 5 X-pulse lasers in the right torso, a heavy PPC in the left torso with a PPC capacitor, a large shield in the right arm, a large vibroblade in the left arm. It's got light ferro for armor, an XL engine. It's also got 15 double heat sinks.
So we should point out that it actually has a movement profile of 4-6, but because of the large shield, it gets bumped down to a 3-5.
Kind of like heavy armor with the run profile?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of like hardened armor with the run profile.
Or hardened armor, yes, sorry.
Except with a large shield, actually I think with a medium shield as well, you reduce the walk speed and then recalculate. So that's why he's a bracket slower. Now I believe most of the time or at least this guy looks like he could probably drop the shield and get back up to his 4-6. There might even be rules. I haven't played with a shield yet, and so I'm trying to remember the rules.
Yeah, they're really granular and super niche. If I recall correctly, certain eras or rule sets, you can have a battle master drop its PPC in its hand, and then it will up its movement speed because of the break in tonnage. So you could like fire it, drop it, and then the next turn you would get a speed boost.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shield rules are really interesting, but also really weird because they'll take damage from a certain direction, but then you could also make them into a active mode where they just absorb damage from like practically everywhere. But it also affects the amount of weapons you can shoot and where they can shoot from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
And it looks like this guy's built his mech around that, because his main weapon is that heavy PPC with a capacitor, which is nuts. 20 points of damage for 20 points of heat out to standard PPC ranges, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And I was just going to mention that I do like how his left arm looks like it's been rebuilt to wield that vibroblade a little bit more effectively and thin down. But, the PPC on the left side, and the shield in the right, just, you get that coverage, but not obstructing your ability to deal damage,
Yeah, and with it, he's got 5 medium X pulses. I'm going to call them pulsers from now on. That just sounds cooler.
That works.
X-pulsers.
He's got 5 medium X pulsers in the right torso, so they're going to be restricted to some extent by that shield. But, I mean, theoretically, you could keep that shield up, protect yourself, and still have that heavy PPC putting out that 20 points of damage while you close. And then you get in close and you start meleeing with that vibroblade, and you get that shield out of the way, and you just hose them with all those X-pulsers.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a cool thing, and his backstory is a little tragic, but we will cover that later in the episode.
My favorite thing about this mech, other than the fact it's just amazing, cool, like very niche, very cool, is that it kind of meshes the 2 generations of Black Knight design together artistically, because like it's definitely looks very similar to the next mech that we're going to talk about and the whole next generation, but at the same time there's still aspects of the first generation of Black Knights, like in like the knees and the legs have a little bit of it, and the arms to an extent. Like it's a very interesting like meshing point.
Yeah, and I think this is some of the best Black Knight art out there, I think. Honestly, I think this guy looks better than the redesigned art.
I also really like how his feet look, and like the legs, they look very good.
You can almost see the traditional rounded Black Knight legs under there, but then they've put like greaves and other actual armor around those legs, making them look even more like the armored knight.
Yeah, because like the upper leg is totally the regular Black Knight leg, but then the lower leg is the NT Black Knight leg, like almost exactly. But then it keeps the knee protector from the regular Black Knight.
The other really cool thing about this Red Reaper, and Chandler kind of alluded to it, is the shield and the styling, the movement profile become standard in the subsequent NT series of Black Knights. So this they saw how effective this was, perhaps, and were like, you know what? We should find a way to make a production model with a shield.
Yeah, and so the Red Reaper has a battle value of 1858 and a point value of 33. And then we come to the BL-NT-2Y, seen in 3091. And this would be the first model that was produced by Robertson. And that's kind of my understanding. The naming convention, if it's got the NT, it's from Robertson.
Yeah, and it moves the K as well. It's BLK-T-2Y.
Yeah, the K is now on the front.
Yeah, as opposed to having the BL dash and then a number and then dash KNT. So slight differences. And then also stylistically, there's a massive shift from it being kind of smoother and more like plate armory to an extent to more almost industrial. But you still have a little bit of it in there in like the torso.
I want to say almost more fantasy.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's split the difference and say steampunk.
I was going to say, if the previous Black Knight has its roots in historical European knights, the BLK NT2Y has his roots in World of Warcraft paladins.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Got the big old shoulder pads and the flared torso. Honestly, this is my favorite art for the Black Knight.
It's great art. It's got that big old, well, not big, but...
Wait, hold on. Didn't you just say the last one was your favorite?
I said I like it better than almost all the other art.
Okay, there's the asterisk attached.
Almost being a qualifying statement.
Yes, the last art is really good, and I really do love it. But this is my favorite art. Now, I wouldn't, if you came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want the Red Reaper model?" I would not say no. But this is the art that I love. This guy right here.
Yeah, no, it is great. I believe this is also very similar to the MechWarrior 4 art.
No, MechWarrior 4 art is... Oh, MechWarrior 4? Maybe. I thought you said MechWarrior Online. I'm like, no, the MechWarrior Online art is ugly as heck for the Black Knight.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just mostly thinking of the medium shield on the right arm there, because that I distinctly remember it having. I don't know if I like it or if it's just different, but the helmet in this one is kind of shifted from a, medieval helmet to kind of more of a commando, special ops, wet work. I don't like, a command helmet or sci-fi helmet.
Yeah, like ODST almost.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's definitely some relation to the MechWarrior 4 Black Knight. It's got that same big vertical shield on the side. The other side has the rounded pauldron. This art's just better because it's high poly, and MechWarrior 4 was low poly.
MechWarrior 4 was great for its time,
but it was low poly compared to what we're used to.
It
now.
was like 2 decades ago.
2 decades ago, they didn't even have high poly. It was just poly.
Yeah.
As for this guy's capabilities, it's got that 4/6 movement profile. It's got a medium shield versus the large shield. So perhaps the shield doesn't affect its movement profile.
It does. The difference is a large shield prevents any sort of jumping. So theoretically, you could put jump jets on this.
Gotcha.
Nifty.
In many ways, this guy goes back to the original Black Knight, but adds the shield and a whole suite of
other tech.
Electronics.
Yeah. For example, the C3 slave in the head.
Yes.
It's got a Guardian ECM in the center torso. It's got a medium laser and a targeting computer in the right torso. It's got a Beagle active probe and a medium laser in the left torso. It's got a large laser and a medium laser, as well as that shield on the right arm. And then a large laser, a medium laser, and a PPC in the left arm. It's got 15 double heat sinks, an XL engine, and endo composite.
Yeah, so it's got that original Black Knight loadout with the Beagle active probe, the PPC, the 2 large lasers, and the 4 medium lasers. Loses the small laser, but picks up a shield, an ECM, a C3 slave, and a targeting computer.
I mean, I'd trade the small laser for a C3 any day.
Yeah. I really feel like this one is definitely think this one's like a product of the era it was in, because this is what, early Republic? So like when they start producing this, weapons manufacturing's gonna having to retool back up, but at the same time you've got materials manufacturing never really went away. It just got, repurposed. So you got all the electronics and stuff easily rebuilt, but you don't have the advanced weapon facilities back up. So you got all your quote unquote standard weapon coming back around for a bit.
So the biggest problem with this guy is he's slow with that shield. He's 3.5. And it's an interesting trade-off because that shield makes him slower, but he's also got an XL engine, so he's adding protection but removing durability, and he still wants to brawl for the most part. That said, that C3 slave, if he can get in close, he can send data really well because he's got the ECM to protect the C3 slave. But also if he can't get in close, he's got that C3 slave, so he can pick up targeting data and put that massive smorgasbord of weaponry to good use once he gets to 9 hexes away.
Oh, yeah. Like, this thing is great. I really, really like it. I would love to play with it on the battlefield. My only complaint is that it doesn't have hands. All the other models have had hands.
That is true. This guy's not a
raider.
Yeah, he's a frontline warrior. The other thing I find really interesting is in Alpha Strike, he's got melee, and I'm not sure how he picks up melee on his Alpha Strike card.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Unless you can use a medium shield to bash people, which would be kind of cool.
Yes, actually you can. There is a bash attack. It counts as a hatchet.
Oh, cool.
So his shield doubles as a hatchet.
Yes. So Mr. Red Reaper has double hatchet. Well, he has a hatchet and a vibroblade, effectively.
Nifty.
Black Knights are so cool. Well, these Black Knights are so cool.
Yeah.
You do have to have it inactive, though, to do the punch with it. So, downsides.
That makes sense. So this guy's got a battle value of 1847 and a point value of 46. Our next model is the BLK-NT-3A, seen in 3095. This guy has a movement profile of 4/6. It's got a ER medium laser, an ER small laser in the right torso. It's got an ER medium laser and an ER small laser in the left torso. In the right arm, it has an ER large laser, an ER medium laser, and a medium shield. Then in the left arm, it has an ER large laser, an ER medium laser, and a flamer. It's got 19 double heat sinks, an XL engine, and endo composite.
So this guy doesn't really have a direct analog to the previous series, the BL series.
No, the flamer is definitely something new for a Black Knight.
Yes.
I like it.
And they moved the small lasers to the torsos.
Mm-hmm.
This one is interesting because it bumps its movement profile up to a 5.8, making it the fastest base movement profile we've seen for a Black Knight yet.
Mm-hmm.
But because it has the shield, its functional movement profile is the same as all the standard Black Knights as we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Black Knight that trades the fragility of an XL engine for the durability of a shield.
But keeps that movement, yeah.
ER large lasers so he can snipe more small lasers than you know what to do with.
I mean, at least they're ERs, so you can shoot at 5 instead of 3.
True.
Well, this guy has got a battle value of 1707 and a point value of 37. We come next to the 3B in 3100, and this is, of course, the next model, and they decided that the movement profile was something that still needed some refinement, so what they did is they gave it a 4/6 with a base of 5.8 because it has a medium shield as well. But then they also stuck some TSM in there so it can go 5.8.
Yeah, it's functional because you said its base is 4/6.
Yeah, the net effect, the break movement, if we want to use a British term,
Yeah, so I think because you just said 5.8 twice.
Yeah, so on the record sheet it says it has a movement profile of 4/6, and then when it has its TSM active, it's 5.8.
Because its base 5.8 goes down to 4/6 for the shield, and then when TSM is active, it goes back up to 5.8.
Yes, just to get super confusing. It's got a small laser in the right torso, a small pulse laser in the right torso. It's got the same in the left torso. In the right arm, it has an ER PPC, a ER small laser, and that medium shield. And then in the left arm, it's got an ER PPC and an ER small laser. It's got 17 double heat sinks, endo composite, and a XL engine. And the TSM we already mentioned.
I feel like this is the Lazy Mech Warrior's Guide to TSM.
Yeah, because
instead
isn't
of
it
turning
8
off
for
heat sinks,
TSM?
9 for TSM, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But instead of turning off a whole bunch of heat sinks, you just go, okay, time for the disco.
Yeah, just shoot the ground with your small lasers.
Why do we have small lasers? So we can heat up without having to fiddle with turning off heat sinks.
Yeah.
Because of that, I don't really like it.
Kind of wish the small lasers are ER small lasers just for an extra little bit of heat punch, but
Well,
at
two
that
of
point
them
you're
are.
just getting picky. Oh,
No,
they're
they're
small.
pulse.
Oh, yeah, they are.
No, it's got 2 ER smalls, 2 pulse,
Right,
and 2 standard
the-
smalls.
The ones in the arms are ER, right, yes. It's got 2 of each.
Yes.
Oh, God.
This is the smallest. This is the smallest SMOL
This is the small
Black Knight.
Yeah. Yeah.
BLK-NT-3 small.
It feels weird. Like, it's got the 2 ER PPCs, and then everything else is a small laser, and I don't know where it wants to be.
Yes, that's where it wants to be. It wants to be everywhere.
If you give it C3 Slave, then I would say you've got either a really good sniper with that C3, or you've got a really good get in their face and send targeting data with all the small lasers and TSM.
I would lean to the latter, personally.
But without C3, this guy feels
Middling?
confused.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah. Well, he's got a battle value of 1911 and a point value of 35. Next up, we have the 4D, seen in 3127, and it's got a movement profile of 3-5. It has a Angel ECM, an ER medium laser clan, a small pulse laser clan, and those two are in the right torso. The ECM is in the center torso. The left torso has the same as the right, an ER medium laser clan and a small pulse laser clan. Then the right arm has a small pulse laser, an ER small laser clan, the medium shield, and a plasma rifle. The left arm has an ER PPC clan, ER small laser clan, and then a plasma rifle. It's got 18 double heat sinks, an XL engine, and endo composite. So this is interesting.
I've used this one extensively as of late because it keeps showing up in the second line rat tables for the clans in general for the Innisphere. Mm-hmm. And this thing's like, sometimes when the roll says Juggernaut, you're like, okay, this thing isn't actually. This thing is a pain in the butt to kill. It just keeps taking damage. Even with the XL.
And I imagine the dual plasma rifles can heat someone up real good if you get lucky.
Oh yeah, it can do everything. It can deal with infantry, it can deal with tanks, it can deal with mechs. It can do a little bit of everything. And it might be slow, but once it gets there, you're going to have a bad day.
And it's got an Angel ECM, which is great.
And it's available to mercenaries, so rejoice.
Yes. Rejoice for your saviors here.
Yeah, I mean that's my biggest problem with the NT series is the shield makes them a 3, and I haven't played with it enough to know whether or not it's worth the shield.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you really got to feel out for yourself and your play style, because I have seen discussions online about these sorts of mechanics, and it really boils down to how good are you at using it, and does it fit your play style, and does it affect the meta,
Yeah, having that Angel is really nice.
Mm-hmm. So it's got a battle value of 2280 and a point value of 44. Next up we have the 18, so the BL-18-KNT, seen in 3130. And this guy's got the movement profile of 4-6, because it does not have a shield.
I was going to say, where was this guy manufactured?
I am going to guess that this is from, what was it, Kalon? No, Kong Interstellar.
Kong Interstellar.
I'm guessing it's that, yeah.
It's a licensee agreement with Robinson.
So just kind of confirms the naming scheme we thought we'd sussed out with the BL number KNT being Robinson. Indeed. Or being Kong, and BLK KNT number being Robinson.
Mm-hmm. So the 18 has a movement profile of 4-6. It's got an ER medium laser clan in the left arm. It's got an ER PPC clan, ER medium laser clan in the right arm. It's got an ER large laser clan, ER medium laser clan in the left torso. In the right torso, it has the same plus a targeting computer. The center torso has a Beagle active probe, and the head has a small pulse laser clan. It's got 20 double heat sinks, it's got endo composite, and it has a light engine. So of course this is mixed tech.
Yeah, if it wasn't the mixed tech thing, this would just be a Black Knight 2C.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, Free Worlds League. Way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they could have made it full 2C and given it a clan XL, freed up some extra tonnage for more heat sinks, this thing would be a lot better. I mean, it's not bad, but for Alpha Strike,
it'll still get toasty.
Yeah, for Alpha Strike, you're talking an OV overheat of 3, which is a lot.
Hey, we can't do everything.
Baby steps, right?
Yes, we got all the guns. Next one, the BL-19-KNT will have the XL.
There you go.
Yeah, but I want a BLK NT. What would we be up to there? 6 something?
6, yeah.
That uses clan tech and still has a shield, like a clan XL and a shield, so we can go faster or something.
6WE, 6SL, 6B, lowercase b for Star League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the 18 has a battle value of 2585 and a point value of 47, and so that clan tech definitely bumping up that number quite a bit.
Yeah.
We then come to our final Black Knight of the episode, the BLK-NT-5H in 3138. This guy has a movement profile of 3-5. It also is mixed tech because it has a ER medium laser clan, small pulse laser clan, and a targeting computer in the right torso. AER medium laser clan and a small pulse laser clan in the left torso. ER large laser clans, ER small laser clan, and a medium shield in the right arm. And then the left arm has a ER large laser clan and an ER PPC clan and an ER small laser clan in the left arm. It has 17 double heat sinks and endo composite and a light engine. So didn't you just ask for this?
But I want Clan XL so that we can, or something that lets us get back up to that 4-6 movement profile.
You're just like
4-6.
This is close to what I wanted, but see me after class.
Yeah, I want more speed out of this guy.
Yeah,
because I really like the 2Y we talked about earlier. This guy is really good as well. They're just so slow with that 3-5 top end assault mech weight or movement profile.
If you're going to be a 3-5, I really feel like you need to be on the C3 network, or at least that helps a whole lot.
Yeah, which is what makes the 2Y good.
Oh yeah,
if this guy had C3 with his clan ERPPC, that'd be really scary.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
targeting computer.
Yeah,
just that functional 3-5 speed really hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is very much an assault at that point,
It's got the firepower and apparently the resilience with the shield to make that work, but it feels bad, man, to be running a 3-5 heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
and I mean, at
get
the price tag at that point, you might as well buy a lighter assault.
Yeah. So this guy's got a battle value of 24-23 and a point value of 42. And so that is the wrap up for the Black Knight, the 75-ton iconic piece of machinery for the battlefield.
Yeah, it's solid. It's funny, Tioro 3145 with the BLK NT series talks about how the Black Knight is very iconic, but once Robinson started building them, Mech Warriors quickly went from rejoicing to complaining that Robinson was making too many variants and not leaving good enough alone. As we just saw, they put out 5 different models in 20 years.
We'll say 40. 3095 to 3138.
3090. Yeah, I guess it was 40 years, but still, that's a...
Compared to the previous iterations, it's quite a breakneck speed.
Yeah, that's a new model every 4 years. No, every 8 years.
Mm-hmm. On average.
Yeah.
On average, yeah.
But you also got to remember a lot of those BLK-NTs, they're almost the exact same mech every time, just with different things bolted on. So it's not a lot of retooling. It's more of, the finished product we're putting different things on.
Yeah, a little more plug and play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really do want to get one of these NTs in a miniature to put on the tabletop and try out an Alpha Strike.
Mm-hmm. Also get some extra parts and turn it into the Red Reaper.
I think they might make a model for that.
Or see if they have the Red Reaper model, I might get that too.
Fair enough. So, for our pilot profiles today, we are going to start off with Reginald Van Gester, and for them, I am going to throw over to Josh.
Yeah, so Van Gester was a relatively mediocre Solaris 7 fighter until the Word of Blake occupied Solaris 7. During that occupation, he fought alongside the Resistance and gained enough combat experience to make him one of the most skilled mech warriors the Resistance had to offer. Unfortunately, 4 days before the Word was driven off the planet, he learned of the murder of his wife Melissa by the Blakeists. He suffered some sort of mental breakdown or, a totally natural reaction, depending on how you look at it.
I mean, trauma response to a war zone and the loss of a loved one is PTSD. That tracks.
And I mean, I guess it's a mental breakdown because he didn't just kill any Blakeist he could get his hands on. He killed any of his comrades who tried to stop him.
Or anyone he thought was a Blakeist.
Yeah, well, that came after the occupation was driven off.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he went from being a war hero to being a kind of a terrorist trying to destroy the Republic of the Sphere and some sort of eternal crusade against Blakeists he imagines around every corner.
Because Devlin Stone is a Blakeist plant.
He's attacked and killed medical convoys. Yeah, Devlin Stone is a Blakeist plant.
Yeah.
I mean...
Technically not wrong.
That's what makes it even funnier.
He recently killed a medical convoy and the militia forces responding to his attack. Yeah, I mean, it's really a tragedy. He's heavily modified his Red Reaper. We talked about that mech and how it looks, and it's cool setup. It's really tragic. Like,
Yep.
BattleTech is not necessarily a happy universe, but this is definitely one of the more tragic stories.
Yeah, when you go into the granular personal loss stories, it can get pretty dark in BattleTech pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah. It is recommended that if you do have to fight Van Gester, you try to engage him at range and, if possible, use artillery. Because, hey, he's got that shield and vibroblade and 5x pulsers if you get up close.
Yeah. Don't want to get close with him. So next up we have Tai Malcolm Meredith. Malcolm is a member of the DCMS that took part in the drive into the Federated Suns after Grey Monday. Malcolm pilots a captured 4D and received praise for their actions on New Iverson. While engaged in a duel with the Davian Atlas, Malcolm was able to avoid incoming fire and repeatedly target the Atlas with the Black Knight's plasma rifles, eventually overloading the cooling system of the Atlas. Once Malcolm shut down their opponent, he confirmed their surrender by walking their Black Knight up to the Atlas and tapping the barrel of their PPC on the cockpit. After the engagement, Malcolm was offered the captured Atlas. He graciously refused, preferring to keep his Black Knight, and I can see why.
Yeah, that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're overheated, huh? Let me just come over here and tell you to get out.
Yeah.
Let's see, how does that go? All your mech belong to us?
Yeah.
Your mech are belong to us. Next up, we have Alexi Holt, who is a Knight of the Republic of the Sphere. She is notable for her interactions with Tucker Harwell, which, for those of you who have been listening recently, recognize his name from Hour of the Wolf, but he's also in a number of other Dark Age novels. She would attempt to protect him from not only the Orient Protectorate, so part of the Free Worlds League, but also a mercenary band, Chaffee's Cutthroats, and the Spirit Cats. So quite the three-way duel. Tucker would then, of course, be abducted by Comstar, where she would, of course, infiltrate Comstar, because that's what she does, and rescue him again.
Yes, because that's also what she does.
Yes, that is her job. Rescue Tucker.
Yeah.
So, and it brings up an interesting question. What if she hadn't? Right?
That's a good question.
Tucker's the one who pulled Devlin Stone out of cryostasis. What if she hadn't protected him and he hadn't been able to, pull Devlin Stone out?
I think ultimately it would have proceeded relatively similar, but probably with less resistance to the clans.
Yeah, because Devlin Stone was able to reunite the parts of the Remnant with the main line. Republic of the Sphere.
Fortress Republic.
By reunite, you mean kidnap, right?
Tomato.
Well, I mean, Devlin Stone wouldn't have been there to come up with a crazy plan to invite Alaric to Terra.
True, but eventually they would have run out of jump drives to fuel the Fortress Republic. So they had maybe a couple of years left if they burned out their complete supply.
But what happens when the wall drops completely and you've got...
It's a free-for-all?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be worse for Terra, most likely.
Oh, yeah.
But can you prevent the clans from establishing the Second Star League?
Theoretically.
Yeah, but that sounds like a good what-if story for someone to write.
Yeah. You hear that, Gideon?
Our final pilot for tonight is Lieutenant Jg Duarte Vidia. Known as Duddy to his friends and foes alike, he is a passionate foodie, especially about fine food, and he is posted in the 3rd Merrick Protectors, also known as the Imperator. This unit is, of course, descended from the 10th and 18th Merrick Militia Regiments, which, of course, dissolved after the dissolution of Free Worlds League, obviously. The 3rd Merrick Protectors would, of course, be given the great duty of covering world sandwich between not only the League and Duchy of Endurian, but also a number of other forces in the area, such as pirates and other ne'er-do-wells. So, very enviable position. You don't only get to fight the Endurians, but you also get to fight pirates and the Free World. I do not feel sorry for them. Well, I do feel sorry for them.
You do not envy their position.
No, not at all. Unfortunately for Duarte, he has a food palate that a noble would be jealous of, but of course he cannot pay for it, for he is just but a mercenary, or, well, less a mercenary and more a gun for hire with the Third Merrick Protector.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily for him, he is able to sustain his urges off the backs of thankful locals after every defense. Somehow he is able to keep a slim and trim physique, which he blames on the strenuous piloting of his Black Knight, which is the Black Knight 18 we were talking about earlier, where he is constantly overheating the mech despite all of the heat sink, which...
Yeah, well, I mean, the Black Knight's a sweat lodge, right?
Yeah, it's a sauna.
Yeah.
So that's Duarte, and that is our pilot profiles for this episode.
And, of course, next up we have our Battletech Talk, where we're going to pick up some more of the political fallout of Hour of the Wolf. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Capellans are going to play with all of this, because obviously I don't think they're going to stop their quest for getting Terra, regardless of what Alaric says about is going on now.
Yeah, no. I don't think the Liaos are going to give it whether Alaric's in charge of Terra or Stone's in charge of Terra or, anyone could be in charge of Terra right now. If it's not a Liao, they don't care. They're going to try to take it. So Alaric better have an idea.
Yeah, but another thing about the era we are coming into is it has been, we'll say, hinted that it is going to be an era of mercenaries. So why don't we talk about some mercenaries that actually show up in the book? And that would be the Wolster Goons, which, where do we want to start with that?
30 pieces of silver.
The walking ghosts that should have died long ago. Yeah, I said that. I said it.
Well, I am going to start off by saying that I think Alaric did them dirty, and he always intended to do them dirty. So, yeah.
I mean, Alaric is the villain, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad for the Dragoons, and not just because Alaric did them dirty and always meant to do them dirty, but also because they really didn't get a whole lot of screen time. It was kind of show up, get one good fight, then get over, and then get humiliated, and that's the end of the book for the Dragoons.
Yeah.
Now I know there's other podcasters out there who are really excited what happened with the Dragoons because they may or may not have been in the book. But overall, and I know this wasn't the Dragoons-centric story. They had that with, Divided We Fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I still felt bad for them. For all they were hyped for this and the screen time they got, the Highlanders actually probably had a better showing, even though they had way less screen time in this book.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they got less person screen time, but I think the Highlanders gave a better show. Not to undersell the Wolf Dragoon showing, I think they did a real good job, and that's why it is incredibly frustrating for me that Alaric was never intending to give them a fair shake, because obviously there's the 30 pieces of silver, which is very heavy-handed and blatant, but another thing that's important that we haven't touched on yet is the ribbons. Like, generally the clans don't carry awards or issue awards other than things like blood names and things like that. But Alaric has set up a little ribbon that everybody gets who took part. And if you were Jade Falcon, you get a green ribbon. If you were a wolf, you get a red ribbon. And if you were a Wolf's Dragoon, you get a gray ribbon. And my read on the book, on what's on the page, is that only the Wolf's Dragoons got the gray ribbons.
Yeah.
Everyone else got red, including all of the Republic of the Spear warriors who joined Clan Wolf, all the Wolf in Exile that joined Clan Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And that systematic disregard for their contributions, I'm just like, ooh, no, don't like that. Nope.
I don't think the ribbons are like that. I mean, those Republic of the Sphere warriors who fought for Clan Wolf, they were technically bondsmen and brought into Clan Wolf as Clan Wolfers. Dragoons were
Absolutely.
not. So there were essentially 3 factions.
Okay, so what about the Wolves in Exile? They contributed the same amount of time as the Wolf's Dragoons, but they were given red.
Because they're Clan Wolf. I think Alaric, he understands that they are a separate Clan Wolf, but he wants to unite them. He still sees them. They are Clan Wolf. We just have a political schism here, but they are still Clan Wolf. He doesn't see Wolster Goons as part of Clan Wolf. In fact, he's pretty explicit towards the end of the book, referring to them as traitors and how this was their punishment for betraying the clans back when Jamie Wolf helped the Innersphere fight the clans.
Yeah, which of course plays out with his the officer he sent to go bring them in, because he's like, nah, that's not, I'm going with them. That wasn't cool, you know, which I thought was great.
Yeah. Murata definitely showed class there. But yeah, I don't think the ribbons are meant to be like that.
Yeah, maybe I'm reading a little too much into it.
That said, he's totally hating on the Dragoons, and he does not see them as having a place in his new Star League. They served their function.
Yeah, they were very much a tool for him to use and discard.
In his new galactic empire.
Yeah, and that was interesting, because the Dragoons now have that distinction of having fought on Terra, having ribbons, and the ribbons themselves are an interesting, like you said, the clans don't do awards, but you know who did do awards? The Star League Defense Force, militaries in general. So it's just another little nudge from Alaric pushing the clans away from their lawful evil warrior society and onto a lawful neutral military that serves a true government.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we all know how much of a pretzel Nicholas twisted them into.
Yeah, I really liked how the Northwind Highlanders were treated for most of the book, largely off-screen. They're dug in France and basically not giving the Jade Falcons an inch, holding the Jade Falcons fast. And then they nearly managed to kill Alaric in Scotland, which was pretty cool. And I'm really curious, like we talked about last episode, to see what happens with Northwind.
Absolutely.
And how Tara Campbell, being part of Clan Wolf now, and this purported age of the mercenaries that's going to be coming up in the Ilk Clan, what ramifications those two have for Northwind and the politics of Northwind.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the final question I have before we wrap up this section is, Chandler, do you think Alaric is going to extend a invitation to the Scorpio Imperium?
I don't know. It's a good question. I have to assume they know they're out, because I mean, there's been contact with the Goliath Scorpions continue through the Seekers, but it's never been like a real like olive branch or anything. Maybe
there has never been any official diplomatic channel.
If he does, knowing Alaric, he's going to use them as a buff with the clan. So he's just going to be like, you guys can do you, just, you know, kind of kowtow to me. You know, you do you, we'll do us. Let us know if the clan homeworlds try to get up, is what I would expect. Because they're way too out there for him to try to project power to them. Not without dedicating way too much force to it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they have enough of an industrial base now to where they could make themselves a very annoying thorn in his side if they wanted to. Mm-hmm.
I could see him using them as a foil against Hell's Horses.
If
Hell's Horses don't want to come into the fold.
Yeah, they would not be in a terrible striking position.
Yeah, because they would just, if they come towards the core of the Innersphere, they ram smack dab into Hell's Horses territory practically.
Yeah, especially if they take over the Jade Falcon occupation zone towards the core.
That's just even more space for them to hit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that could be one way Alaric gets the Scorpio Imperium on his side, is if, like we talked about, the Falcons don't really keep their OZ, he could offer a portion of that to the Scorpio Imperium.
Because, hey, it's free real estate.
Something like that.
Yeah. Make the Scorpio Imperium be more of a, well, I guess it's the Scorpion Empire now, but more of a, like, deep periphery, very toe into inner sphere power.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would break the tradition of the Star League because it would be inviting the periphery states in.
Yes.
Yes, but the way Alaric thinks, the Scorpio Imperium is not, well, he probably doesn't think of them as a periphery state. They're probably clan to him.
Yeah.
He really does draw these lines between you are clan, you are not clan.
And they may not be arbitrary, but they are only well defined to him, you know?
Yeah. Well, seems like it's anything if they were a clan under the old pre-invasion system, they are clan to him. He brought Smoke Jaguar back. He considers the Wolf Dragoons not clan and betrayers. He really does hang up on that clan invasion era quality of the clans, who the clans are to him.
Mm-hmm.
So then he would consider the Scorpion Empire a clan then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably in better standing than the Hell's Horses, because they may not have invaded the Inner Sphere, but they did invade and make their own territory. So,
yes.
Well, with that, I think we are going to move on to our data dive for the episode with the Terran Hegemony Part 11. Today, we once again look at the Terran Hegemony and Ian Cameron's quest to save the Terran Hegemony from economic ruin by uniting all of colonized space under a single governing body.
You mean conquering the rest of humanity in a misguided and egotistical drive to become the ruler of everything?
I mean, everybody puts their own spin on everything, right? This is taken from the Terran Hegemony book, so...
The War of Cameron Aggression.
So last time we talked about the Larian Commonwealth and the administrated planets, the planets adding much-needed raw resources to help stem the tide, and the economic powerhouse of the Larian Commonwealth moving to integrate into the new single economy. And we touched on the Draconis Combine and the Federated Suns and their leaders' interest in joining this burgeoning alliance. The Federated Suns had was just resolving a bloody civil war, and Alexander Davian was in the process of rebuilding the Federated Suns economy. Alexander had no reservations about joining, but did not immediately sign on, as the rationale for this is that the prince wanted the Federated Sun to join from a position of strength, ensuring that the Federated Sun would not be seen as a second-class member. Eventually, the promise of Terran hegemony weapons and the guarantee of punitive actions in response to the Draconis Combine invading the Federated Suns. At the time the Star League was formalized and unveiled, the Federated Suns economy was effectively recovered and would only grow now that it was integrating into the greater whole. For each nation had an influx of industry funding and immigrants looking to build a better life for themselves. The machinations and manipulations of the Federated Suns economy by Albert Merrick should not go unnoted, as they were hard or impossible to codify and absolutely influential. The Draconis Combine at the same time was led by coordinator Hetero Karita, a man who had long realized the benefits of joining the Star League, but had the job of convincing his court and warlords to abandon their cultural dream of supremacy and control of all of human space. With the Davians signed on, the Draconis Combine was now the odd man out, and also surrounded. This fact, I'm sure, helped to change the minds of the most bloodthirsty warlords, and so negotiations started and finished much as the Davian negotiations did, with the Terran hegemony weapons and the guarantee of mutual defense should the Federated Suns invade the Draconis Combine. It is also of note that Albert Merrick's economic actions towards the Draconis Combine were more effective than in other states, as their strict structure and economic system proved to be susceptible to outside forces. For those of you keeping note, essentially every nation signed on to a deal of paying taxes and raw resources for mutual defense, and opening of restricted tech and weapons superior to local productions. That is correct, class. The silver-tongued Ian Cameron convinced the other houses to sign on for being colonized, and people say that the Davians are British.
Davians are
British.
French.
I mean, true.
British. With
the Davians and the Cretan leaders signing on to the Star League, we now have reached this strange time, considered to be part of the Star League era, but was very much building it at the same time. For starting in 2569 and for the next 2 years, all leaders of the great houses command-circuited from their nation's capital to Geneva on Terra for negotiations that would form the foundation of the Star League by outlining its protocols and jurisdictions. These conferences would make the Star League Accords and be ratified in the summer of 2571. On July 9th, 2571, on the floor of the Terran Hegemony Congress, each of the nation's leaders who signed were present, starting with Hohero, and then Alexander, Viola, Ursula, Albert, and finally Ian. Each leader stepped forward and solemnly swore the oath of the Preamble to the Star League Accords, and then signed their name. Each member used the same pen, passing it from one another as a symbol of cooperation and harmony. For those who are unaware, it is common for multiple writing instruments to be used, sometimes separate pens for the first and second name. This is done to provide mementos or symbols of the act that each member can carry with them or pass along to trusted advisors. Often these eventually end up in private collections or museums as the Sea of Time rolls on. The preamble of the Starleague Accords are as follows. We, the Lords representatives of the 6 inner realms of human space, in the name of peace, free commerce, and our people, do hereby enter the covenant to be henceforth known as the Starleague. We do so in recognition of the greatness of each member state and of the qualities that made it great. We do so willingly in recognition that it is in the best interests of our realm, our lands, our resources, and our people. We do so with hearts open to friendship with one another's realm, and look forward to an epoch of prosperity and security. After 1½ centuries of warfare, we are ready to set aside the quarrels that have devastated our realms. No longer shall we be benighted by the evils that have torn our worlds asunder, nor shall we waste our energy, strength, resources, or the lives of our people in warfare and brutal conflicts. Instead, we greet a new beginning, an opportunity, unprecedented in human sphere, an opportunity for every realm to realize its full potential, for every government to work together in harmony and understanding, for every man, woman, and child to be safe, secure, and prosperous. We pledge unto each other our lives, our good faith, and our sacred honor. Signed, and then the leader's signatures' names. It is important to note that people is not capitalized at any point in this preamble, unlike peace, commerce, realm, resources, land, and government. For me, this is telling that the pledge calls on all member states to have every government work together in harmony, foreshadowing things to come. Ian was the last to sign, and when he approached, he recited the oath from memory. The official document has a single aged spot on the piece of paper, and it appears to be a watermark. The myth, the story, or the legend of that great day is that while reciting the oath, a single tear ran down Ian's cheek and fell to the page with the flourish of his signature.
Ian Cameron, lizard person confirmed. Crocodile teeth.
And with that, a new age is born, in reality and officially. The Starleague is now a reality. The Inner Sphere is changed forever.
Dun, dun, dun.
And war marches on.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the far future, there is only
stompy robots.
Far future, there is only stomp, stomp.
Yeah, it's interesting that they kind of cribbed from things like the Declaration of Independence, but they didn't pledge their fortunes, lives, fortunes, and sacred honor. And the fact that there's nothing in there referring to the sanctity and rights of the individuals, of their subjects, and the peoples that they lead is also kind of telling.
I mean, there is an allusion to that in the willing to recognize the best interests of our realms, and also the recognition of each member state and the qualities that made it great, but it is super subtle.
Well, but it doesn't actually reference, it doesn't say, the rights or the best interests of our people. It's a bunch of power players, hyper elites, the 1/10 of a percent.
Yeah, this is a bunch of pretty words that could mean something, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just find it interesting. There's no consideration for individuals and moral rightness.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Inner Sphere.
Well, yeah. Our sources for today are Sarna, Battletech Battlemech Manual, Master Unit List, Succession Wars TRO and RS, TRO 3050 Upgrade, Record Sheets 3050 Upgrade Clan and Star League, Starter Book Sword and Dragon, Battle of Tukid Supplemental, Experimental Tech Most Wanted, TRO 3145 Davian, TRO 3145, Record Sheets 3145 Unabridged, Il Clan Recognition Guide, Volume 12, and the Star League Sourcebook.
I used A Bonfire of Worlds, the novel, and Target of Opportunity, which is also a novel, both of which are Dark Age novels, although Bonfire of Worlds you can get on regular time.
Yeah, that was like one of the first ones they put on print on demand, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Is it? because if it is, I need to get it because I don't have that on. I just have it on PDF right now.
This podcast is made possible by our supporters on patreon.com/on the Origin of Battlemechs, link in the description. Our social media on Twitter is at Origin of Mechs. We also have a community Discord, the Armory of Ouroboros, link in the description. You can email us at ontheoriginofbattlemechs@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, please leave a review on your platform of consumption, tell your friends about us, and share on your community platform of choice. Special thanks to my friend Laura for the intro and outro. Class dismissed. Everybody have a great day.
Peace out, Mech Warriors.
Stay safe out there.
Module complete. System standby. Would you like to load the next module?
You said 3-way.